football, the color orange, tigers, and there's something in these hills are all staples at Clemson University. Whether that is the high standards of education and excellence or the family and community that has been built at this school. Established as an all-white male military school in 1889, Clemson was an agricultural college, and since then has seen a lot of change. Integration has been a large goal on campus, and while some applaud Clemson for their initiative, others criticize that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. One issue that people have revolves around one of the oldest buildings on campus, Tillman Hall, which was named after Benjamin Tillman, and whether or not the name reflects an image of diversity.
Benjamin Tillman was a man of politics. He was a member and candidate of the Democratic Party when he became governor of South Carolina from 1890 to 1894. He then became a United States Senator from 1895 to 1918. Benjamin Tillman was considered a very vocal and opinionated man. His beliefs were considered very controversial to the beliefs today. During his election for governor, he defended lynching and gave many electoral speeches where he would ridicule African Americans.
Tillman was well known for his aggressive demeanor, which led to his nickname Pitchfork Ben. Even though Benjamin Tillman had a background of racism and anger, he was one of the primary founders of Clemson University. Both he and Thomas Green Clemson combined their desire for an agricultural college in South Carolina. Tillman helped develop the Agricultural College of Clemson. He was able to do so using the Morrill Act, which allowed him to obtain a land grant for the start of Clemson University. Tillman was able to formalize the building of Clemson's Agricultural College through establishing a convict labor camp. As a reward for the strenuous task of building the school, Tillman granted many of the convicts pardons after their contribution towards the building of the school.
What is your opinion on the diversity of Clemson?
I believe Clemson is very diverse. I think they do a pretty good job having a diverse community. And there's several different races in the college, so I think it's pretty diverse.
There's not a lot, and I feel like a lot of people, it's like known as a predominantly white school, so that's not usually good for people who want to apply that's of a different race, because then they're like not as keen to apply.
I mean, I think it's fine. There's lots of international students that I see around campus all the time, so it's not like we're not making an effort to include people from different cultures.
The diversity of Clemson, I feel like could definitely be better. I don't know if that starts with the admissions or the university or what it is for the people applying, but it's not very diverse here at Clemson.
Many people view Tillman's legacy in many different ways. While Tillman brought several progressive reforms to the state, he was also a supporter of disenfranchising Black Southerners. The fact that the school has a very important landmark named after a racist man has driven parts of the Clemson student body to demand the renaming of Tillman Hall. According to the official demand for renaming Tillman Hall, many students, professors, and faculty feel that the Tillman Hall has a negative effect on the diversity of Clemson.
According to a study performed in 2018, the diversity at Clemson was 83% Caucasian and 17% other ethnicities. Many believe that this small amount of diversity is concerning and creates an unwelcoming vibe for the other groups on campus.
With a name like Tillman Hall, it is thought that the name sends an inappropriate message towards the minorities on campus and for those looking to join the student body. The name appears to be celebrating a man who approved of discrimination and hatred towards African Americans, which sends the wrong message. What do you think about the changing of the name of Tillman Hall?
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't think it really matters. It's just the name of a building. I don't really think there's much about it.
I like the idea behind it, but I feel as though changing the name wouldn't really redo the past.
I really don't know the background of it, but I feel like not many people think that much into it, and it's historically always been called that, so I don't think there's a need to.
I think they should, because I get that it's a traditional name, but to be honest, it seems more offensive than traditional. Actually, just a reminder of something that really isn't really what we stand for anymore.
Even though the man, Benjamin Tillman, believed and performed very racist actions, he was a primary contributor to the establishment of the university. He also played a very important role in the reform of South Carolina. The naming of Tillman Hall was not intended to celebrate his flaws, but rather celebrate his positive contributions towards the university itself.
The demands to rename Tillman Hall were acknowledged by the Clemson Board of Trustees and responded with, quote, "The Clemson Board does not intend to change the names of any buildings on campus, including Tillman Hall," end quote. The clock tower, Tillman Hall, is a symbol that has been associated with Clemson and has been considered the, quote, "centerpiece of Clemson," end quote. Throughout the South, this clock tower has been considered a center of tradition for the university. Even though the Clemson Board of Trustees has declined the demand to rename the building, there are many initiatives that can be taken in order to please the need for a more diverse campus. Some of these initiatives could be creating a seminar within the course CU1000 that discusses the need to acknowledge and respect different cultures that surround the campus. Another initiative could be to increase the acceptance of the number of minorities within the student body, as well as to increase the diversity of the faculty as well as the professors. The final action that could be taken are support clubs for anyone who is feeling out of place and they would like to voice their feelings.